Welcome to Remelations. We're your hosts.
I'm Mindy.
And I'm Brooke. Remelations is a dream interpretation podcast where we read listeners' dreams. From nightmares to the just plain bizarre, join us as we give you our comedic interpretation of your fucked up rem cycle.
This week we're reading a dream that has to do with creepy swamp man, kidnappings, and my favorite, coloring books.
Oh, yeah.
All in one dream.
Oh, yeah. And not to mention being trapped in an MRI.
Nightmare.
And liposuction.
It's a medical fun good time.
It is.
Don't forget, we also have our topic of the day, which this week we're talking about premature burial. Also known as being buried alive.
Ah, no.
Yep, but you're going to want to stay tuned for that, bestie. So let's get started.
Woo!
I just almost choked on the air there for a second. Okay. Well, hello.
Hello again.
Here we are. It's another...
This is where we are.
This is where we are. We are in our beautiful podcast studio in Burbank, California.
It's brand spanking new.
Did you know we just blew up over the weekend, and here we are.
It was an overnight success.
Nope, still in my basement, sitting on the floor.
Still in my bathroom, sitting against my tub.
Someday, Brooke, someday. I was just thinking, like, how wonderful it's going to be when we do our live shows, though, and we can just wear our pajamas. As I was putting on my pajamas tonight for this recording, I was thinking, not only is it great when we do our live shows, we can wear pajamas, but I think we just tell all of our besties to wear pajamas to the show.
If you come, like, dressed more formally than pajamas, you will be turned away at the door.
Just grab your Snuggie, grab your box of wine.
I mean, this is going to BYOB event, so bring all the boxes of wine because we might need a couple sips.
Yeah. Oh, and if you have any lovies you want to bring with, some teddy bears, pillows, I'll accept it at our shows someday when we do one.
We encourage it. And I was kidding. All are welcome. You can wear whatever you want.
All right, so we've got some listener dreams today.
Ooh, do we?
Shall I get started?
Yes.
Okay. This dream comes from Leona from Smithers, British Columbia.
Nice.
You know, my grandma's name was Leona, and I just love that name. So when I saw this pop up, I'm like, I got to read this one. She's got a great name.
It is. Leona, you don't hear that name very often anymore.
Oh, you should. I think it's a great name.
Yeah, we should, but we just don't.
My grandma's middle name was Josephine, so it was Leona Josephine. I'm like, oh, that is a gorgeous name.
A cool name.
All right, well, this Leona from BC says, I've had a few weird dreams, but this one related to killers. So I copied it from my notes. Here it goes. I was on a lake. There were lots of people.
Ooh.
A guy in black ripped clothes came up from the water and said, we had to get to the other side of the lake.
He came up from?
And then he went back into the water.
I don't know if this is the guy you want to trust, but...
No. Ripped black I'm assuming he's just dripping wet.
How long has he been underwater? Is he just like holding his breath, waiting to come up to make the announcement and then going back into the water?
Every group of like people that walk by, excuse me.
It's like an amusement park. It's like animatronic. You must go to the other side of the lake. Back into the water.
Well, it wasn't a good idea because all of a sudden, next thing I know, we had been kidnapped.
Oh, I knew it.
Don't trust the waterman. Don't trust the man from the lagoon.
Nope, can't.
He's got like seaweed off the side of his face. You know how it's going to go.
You're like, don't listen to that dude, okay?
Just keep walking. We were a group of about 7, and most of us were girls under the age of 19. Don't like that.
Okay.
So we got there to the other side, and the guy was waiting for us. The lagoon guy. The waterman.
The waterman.
He told us we had to choose from about 20 drawers. Some would have punishments, and some would have helpful hints.
Helpful hints for what?
Escaping them, perhaps?
So you either get a hint or a punishment. I
don't like this game.
You should get a reward.
I think you should just
and
leave.
A hint.
I don't want to play this game. I did not sign up for game night tonight.
I know he said get to the other side, but I would turn it right around and go back to where you started because he's on the other shore.
Do not pass go. Do not collect your drawer note.
Do not. Go.
Okay. We had chose one that had a good hint, but he took it from us before we had a chance to read it. But we fought so hard to keep it. We took another from the drawer, and again, he ripped it from our hands.
This is not a fair game.
It's not. Like, every time we get a hint, he just takes it.
I'm like, this game's already not fair,
rigged.
and you're making it less fair.
Rigged.
It's like a carnival game.
Damn those carnival games. Did you ever play those as kids?
I did. It was so much fun. What was the one you liked the best?
Oh, I sucked at them all.
Yeah, but some, you might like one.
No. I mean, I like the one where you
You're
shoot.
no.
I like the one where you shoot the water in the clown's mouth or whatever it is.
That's
like
the one of the horses race?
Yeah, where the horses
That's
race.
my favorite
Oh, get out. Besties.
That's my favorite one. But
That is the best because you do have a chance of winning because someone wins every time.
And it's like, if you just by the chance get it started in the right spot from the go, you have a shot.
Right. You
like
do.
if it's off just a little bit and you move it, like you're done. But
Yeah. You have to hold it. And do some have better pressure than other ones is always my question.
Maybe.
Like maybe there's a lucky seat in that. I would have to like scope it for a while now going back as adult.
Oh, see, I love
Find the
how
best
you
seat.
scope it. My plan was going to go right up to whoever was operating and be like, just tell me which one's the best one.
Here's a 5. No, wait, it's cost me 10. Oh, wait, no, this is not going to work.
Here's a shimmy.
Here's a shimmy. Give me the inside
number
scoop.
8. Number 8, Mindy. Sit at number 8. This is a good one.
Perfect. Thanks, Bud. Yeah, and then you can get you get those like one small prizes that you can then turn in for two. You get 3 of those and you get one medium prize. It still is not that big.
No, it's like extra small to small, but they're called like small and large. You're like, and you need like so many of them to get anything big. It's a
ripoff. And so is this game from Leona's playing here in the stream because it is not fair. It's not fair. Okay. He was so mad, he started to walk away, and then we looked at the hint that we were able to still grab.
Oh.
It was a bunch of papers with gardens on them, like a coloring book. Sounds like a nice coloring book.
It sounds like a confusing hint.
I think I'd still, right? I think I would still run. He's got his back turned. Make a break for it here, Leona.
I would just be like, fuck your hint. I'm getting back to the other side of the lake.
We draw a really pretty picture and one of us gets to go home. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how this game works. And I don't like it either.
Next, the police came and everyone started celebrating because this guy, our captor, had been chosen to play a serial killer during his training to become an officer.
That's fucked, but it kind of makes sense.
We all looked at each other and we knew he was actually a killer and not just playing one.
Oh, not just playing one at the carnival. They say, I play one on TV. No, he's not playing one at the carnival. He's the real deal.
So everyone else is celebrating this guy, but they're like, no, it's not true. It's not true. Mm. Finally, we were able to get away on a boat and follow the current to another spot along the lake. We realized the game wasn't over, and we were still very much in danger. So we got out of the boat and tried to escape.
This is a never-ending game.
No. Soon, 2 other young girls came with us who had escaped just the previous night.
So they were out there still?
And then I woke up.
That was a good one.
Weird? Yeah, good. Frustrating for sure.
Well, no, but I mean, like, I would watch that. I would watch that, like, movie.
Yeah. I think,
it's got some Friday the 13th elements to it. Like, you're trying to, I mean, not that it's a happy carnival time, mostly just being hacked to pieces, but you are in a lake and wooded environment and someone's trying to get you.
It's funny how you imagine it's wooded because she didn't say it was wooded. But I think I was thinking the same thing. But then as soon as you said, I'm like, wait, she never said it was wooded. She just said it was a lake.
I saw woods.
But it has to be ominous.
I saw woods.
Look, especially, to start with, we have this guy that just appears out of the lake. Just, hey, guys.
And fully dressed,
Dressed in black. It was ripped. I mean, he was in the water for a while. So, like, SEAL Team 6, he just comes out because he's like, hey guys,
I was just down there for 6 minutes holding my breath. How long can you hold your breath for?
Can you please get to the other side of the lake? I'd like to kidnap you now.
Please? I would ask more clearly, but I said it as clearly as I possibly can.
With a scuba mask on. It's hard to talk.
How can he hold his breath down there? What's he doing?
My God, yes. And then the funny thing is when they got to the other side, he swam back to the other side, I guess.
Yeah.
He's just real. he's obviously really well trained in aquatics.
He's a good swimmer. He's a very strong swimmer.
She mentioned that he was dressed in black, and it was, and in my mind, I picture this a very dark scene. Like, it's not daytime, it's nighttime.
Oh,
like you said,
it's
woods,
daytime in my dream.
In your dream, it was
not
daytime?
my dream, in my, like, how I see it.
Okay, no, I saw it as dark, like ominous, foggy.
Okay, I like it.
So he's dressed in black, and that was just how I took it. But he came up with the water, and it's almost like, what submerged feelings perhaps do you have that are just like right at the surface that maybe you need to address, Leona? Is it something that is just like right there and just it's that little nudge you need to acknowledge it?
Yeah. And
you followed the instructions with being kidnapped for some reason. I think right then you run, personally. Yes. I mean, he's in a wetsuit. It's going to, in my mind, he's in a wetsuit. It's going to take in flippers. He's not going to be able to chase you down.
See,
Go for it.
I can't believe you see him in like a mask with a snorkel and a full wetsuit and flippers. I see him as just this creepy guy, like dressed in black with tattered clothes, like coming out of the water with this message.
Yeah. So either way, I mean, I think she's on a journey because she's, traveling the other side of the lake, but she has some apprehensions about kind of what's happening next.
Well, as normal. That's normal.
And then to have the gamification of this, your fate is kind of creepy, right?
And he's cheating.
He's cheating. That's the thing that just burns my buns.
Burns your buns.
Shove my ass, burn my... Either way, I'm upset. That just came to me.
It's my new favorite thing I've ever heard.
Just burns my buns. It's not a fair game, but I think it's interesting. It's in a dresser, which is like a very common thing for a home. It's something everyone has in their bedroom. Yeah. And so to have it in this by this lake is so out of place.
Yeah.
So I think
it's weird too. Like, why are they drawing like these like little? Are they like on pieces of paper or?
Yeah, it seems like they were drawing pieces of paper out of these drawers. There's 20
why
drawers.
Do you need drawers for that? Like an envelope is fine, a little bowl is fine, but you need a whole goddamn dresser drawer.
That seems like too much work to drag out there,
That's a lot of work.
So I think it's out of place, and I think that's an interesting symbol. Again, it goes back to having one in your house. It's like it's a piece of comfort. It's a familiarity because it's in your home, and to have it in a weird spot, I think is definitely strange.
It would draw your attention to it for sure. Like, what is that doing here? It might be an element in the dream that's telling her, look over here. Something
right. Oh. Is it something maybe in your home life or something that is that thing that you're just trying to figure out? Like, what's the game, right? And so then they start drawing these papers unfairly.
But they have beautiful coloring books coming up soon. So.
I think that symbol was that made me laugh a little bit in this one. It wasn't too scary because I kind of made it lighthearted.
It did. But it was still like...
And they're all garden scenes. And garden, you think of like a new beginning, a new start. Like it's fresh, it's beautiful. But it's not like a real garden. It's not like there was a garden there. It was just coloring. But I almost take it as like make your own goodness in a situation.
I like
so
it.
Even though you're in a bad situation, I mean, I love coloring. I
find the positive in it.
Coloring. Just give me a nice, quiet day in a color book and fresh crayons. I'm a happy girl.
Have you ever used colored pencils?
I have, yes. Okay. I got those too.
I have I had the most amazing set of colored pencils because for a long time, my friend Chad and I, when I lived in Iowa City, we would do wine and coloring Tuesdays. Oh,
God, I love you.
And it was just like
amazing.
The most fun. So now we have to figure out a way to do this, Mindy.
I'm with you. I would love to do that.
Even if it's just over like FaceTime, I'm over here coloring.
What's the best kind of coloring book is the question.
I like when there's lots of intricacies because the ones I got had like...
Were they like the adult coloring books?
Yes, adult coloring books. Okay. Yes. Do you like just the regular old kid?
Oh, I'm thinking like give me a Barbie coloring book first of all. Okay. I love Barbie coloring books. Or My Little Pony, too.
I just had the best idea.
Or Lisa Frank, number 3.
Well, Lisa Frank would always be number 1. Done and done. But we should start doing some adult coloring and posting yours and posting mine to see the difference between like an adult coloring book and like a
The
My
kid
Little
coloring book,
Pony.
yes.
Keep it in the lines, Mindy.
I know, but there's so much you can do with the fashion, the colors, mane. I just love it.
Maybe I'd love it.
I'm bummed my kids are now past the age of coloring and coloring books because that was my favorite activity to do with them.
Well, doesn't mean you have to stop doing
true.
it, Mindy.
It's true. Self-care, long showers and coloring books. Okay. So I think that's really I agree with you. I think it's finding the good in a bad situation.
Yeah.
It's like always trying to find that positive thing that like it's a garden. You can kind of almost like create your own destiny or your own happiness, your own
Figure out
goodness
which way
in that
this
situation.
is going to go. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have that power.
And then they did escape, which I think is a good positive sign in the dream. They did get away, even though he was really a cop, but pretending to be a serial killer, like all that confusion. There's always confusion in your life. And definitely, I think that was like a red herring. There's always going to be those in your life of trying to get somewhere and you can't because there's distractions. But she got away. And I think that's a really, really good ending to this dream. And there was two other girls
found
that
other people that had gotten away too. So it's like now they're getting stronger with numbers to really get away no matter what happened.
Absolutely. Find those friends. Stick with them and just do wine and coloring night.
Wine and coloring. Don't go on a lake.
Don't talk to creepy people in the
people.
water. Not a good idea.
If they come out of the water and they've been under there for a significant amount of time, they're not okay.
Just imagine how pruny his fingers were.
Oh, it was probably a terrible situation for him when he came out.
Thanks, Leona. We appreciate you sharing
Leona.
the dream.
Oh, that was wonderful. I love that one. That was a good one. Hey, bestie. Don't forget to share a dream story, anything you want to share with us. We love to hear it all. We love everything you send us. But also don't forget, our Halloween episode is coming up. So we're calling all nightmares, all sleep paralysis stories, night terrors, and any other scary thing that you can imagine.
Scary story. Just send them all.
Scary story. We want, it's going to be a good one. And it's going to be a special episode because it's an extra episode going to be released on Halloween.
Yes.
And you'll still get a regular episode that week too. So
extra
scary.
Fun. Extra fun. All right, Brooke, do you have a dream to share with us this fall evening?
I sure do. And boy, is this one.
Oh, your face is already telling me it's what?
Well,
you look terrified already. I don't know.
Well, when I read it, I think you'll understand. And this is a dream of your own heart, Mindy, because she writes scene change in the middle of it. And I'm like, she must
knows.
be a fan. She
knows. Love it.
Okay, this is Kara from Fort Collins.
Oh, right.
I was getting an MRI. Not sure for what. Already I'm upset.
That's already terrifying.
I'm already upset because
Have you ever had an MRI?
Yeah, I did have to have an MRI when I had my seizure.
Yeah.
But I was so out of it, so much pain because it was when I crashed my car that
Yeah.
I know this is terrible, but it's the best possible way I could have had an MRI.
Yeah, because you're out of it.
I would have totally freaked out otherwise. Ooh, not my cup of tea, but like any true nightmare, I got trapped inside.
My God, this is going to be terrifying for so many people already. Okay.
I'm not liking it. The tech was trying to get the little table that you slide in and out to pull out, but it was stuck. I was begging them to just pull on my legs and pull me out.
Right. Like, you don't need the whole table out. Just like pull her out.
Just get me out.
just slide some Vaseline under there and just tug.
And just go. I'll clean it up later. I don't care.
I don't care what it costs.
Just get me out of here. There were at least 3 people trying to get me out, but they couldn't.
Oh my God. Like the whole idea of being in a medical place and no one's helping you. This is not like, it's not like ER. It's not Grey's Anatomy, which, by the way, I've seen pretty much every season of that. Do you ever watch Grey's Anatomy?
I need to.
Did you watch ER?
I did watch ER. Loved
liked
it.
Okay, well then you need to start Grey's Anatomy because I wouldn't have done it without my kids telling me to watch it.
You know what? It's actually on my thing to do because I want a show that's a comfort show that lasts forever and it's still on.
It is still on. I don't know how it's like. Okay, I didn't watch the last 2 seasons, but
well, I'm gonna jump into it.
Yeah, you should. I mean, there's so much. I mean, the actor. Oh my God. Oh, speaking of which,
yes.
hashtag.
Yeah.
What does Ellen Pompeo dream?
Oh, wow. Good one. I would throw that one out there. Woo, Ellen. Man, you got to go.
Ellen. Come on. I mean, you are like the soap opera queen of the nighttime.
Night soaps.
Night soaps. I mean, I love soap operas, but you are the night soap queen. You got to tell us, what do you dream about?
Please,
I wonder
Ellen.
if they dream about, like, they had to memorize all those, like, terms.
Could you imagine? Like, I just remember watching something like, we got to do a central line and blah, 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 and all this, like, medicine. And I'm like, this has to be medical shows have to be the hardest ones to work on because you have to memorize the hardest terminology.
Anyone in the Grey's Anatomy cast, let us know.
Please.
Do you dream about
work?
Those goddamn medical terms. We want to know. But Ellen, specifically, like, tell us. Just let us know. Just DM me. Slide in my inbox.
Just slide in her DM. Let her know.
All right. Sorry. Back to Kara.
Yes. Then something sparked on the machine.
Oh, no.
And it started on fire.
No.
Mindy, I told you about this.
Oh, God. Kara. No. I don't like this one already.
I don't like it either. Like, I'm like...
You already got, like, so many phobias, triggers here.
In a bad way. Okay. I was trapped inside the tube as it started on fire. And I watched as the entire team of techs just ran away, leaving me to burn.
You have a social responsibility to save that person in the MRI tube. I'm sorry.
You just have a human responsibility.
Yes.
To say
that is your profession. You have to.
Okay.
No.
Wait, Mindy, we got the scene change.
Scene change. Okay.
Now I'm laying on an operating table, but not related to the MRI incident at all.
Okay.
I was getting a little liposuction.
Burn away the fat. Just burn it all away.
Get it away.
Yeah.
But she says I was only partially under. I couldn't feel anything, but I could see it.
No.
I'm still not a fan of that.
No.
They were using those metal stick-like things that they poke around and suck.
Yeah, I've seen it on TV shows.
Those.
No.
We've seen it on
to turn
TV
the channel.
Yeah.
You see the big old vacuum tube?
It's like...
Ooh.
It's pretty well, and she even says she thought he was doing it a little too aggressively because I think it does, like when you've seen on TV, it does like look like there's a lot of Anyway,
okay.
So even though it didn't hurt, I could tell he was poking that thing around a little too aggressively. That's what she said. Not even a second later, it pierced through my skin, but he didn't stop, and it just started tearing through my flesh, and he was just pulling chunks of me and throwing it on the ground.
No, you can't. Oh God, that's it. That's it.
Yes.
Oh, what two horrible
what
scenes.
Horrible dreams. I don't.
Act
like
1 sucked. Act 2 sucked.
Guess what? We're cutting these scenes. They're not.
They're not making the movie.
They're not making horrifying. Oh my God! This one I read through a couple of times and I was like, it's still scary.
Kara. I don't think I'd be able to fall back asleep after those ones.
Nope, you're up for days.
No,
nope, I don't count on sleeping for a few days.
Especially, I don't know where you're going to start, but I was going to say just the fact that you're in an environment that's supposed to be safe and it's not supposed to be scary.
Both of these situations has been in like a medical environment where you should feel safe, you should feel secure, and like
you're a little anxious when you go to the doctor. Sure, that's normal, but you should still be not that scared of a fire.
Well, and like even like she wasn't. We'll get into it. We'll get into it in a minute.
Okay.
But like I did have a lot of questions before I even like started writing anything. I'm like question. Like I was like, I need to know more.
Yes.
Because it's like, why is she getting these medical procedures and why are they all going so wrong? And what is she trying to fix and heal? And why are there such violent endings to these procedures? Like, what is she going through? Like, this one was a puzzler. Like, I couldn't think like exactly like, oh, this is obviously marriage troubles or this is obviously work troubles.
No. Usually the dreamer knows, but
deeper and longer because it's so violent. Like that to me makes it think it's more intense. Like it's a higher urgency issue, like a big issue for Kara.
Yeah.
Oh, but the MRI. Let's start with just the MRI itself. I mean, she basically feels trapped.
Literally.
She
you
is.
are. When you have an MRI,
she's literally trapped.
you're in there.
With
and you can't move.
absolutely no way to move. Like it's literal. It's not figuratively.
I've never had one. Mark had, when he had his shoulder surgery this year, he was very worried and anxious about going in for it because he does not like tight spaces. And he had, this is a random sidebar, he had heard on, I don't know if you read it on Reddit or somewhere, if you place like a cloth over your eyes, then you at least you can't see how close you are. Like it, even if you open your eyes, because sometimes you feel like you have to open your eyes, then you're at least, it helped him. I don't know.
They
legit
legit did that to me without me even asking.
Oh, really?
They had like something, and it was almost like one of those weighted masks.
That would probably even be helpful.
So it was kind of like soothing too. At the point, I'm like, fuck me. I've never felt this much pain in my life. This is horrible. But at least I had.
At least your eyes were getting like a little spot, eh?
But I honestly, it would have helped me under any circumstance because it's like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
When I do my hydrotherapy, as we talked about, it's completely black. Okay, and I'm floating and you are in a pod that's closed, like a slightly larger tanning bed, but closed.
Yeah.
And you could freak out. But so every once in a while, I just push myself to the side so I can touch my finger on the pod. So I'm
You're like, yep.
I know it's there, but it does. Honestly, the out of sight, out of mind.
Right. Feeling that
does
trap.
help.
I don't know that I'm claustrophobic. I don't think I'm really in a lot of situations where, like, probably the only place I've ever really been crowded is in like an elevator. I've never been anywhere that I felt completely unable
to
panic. Yeah. I don't know. But I can understand that too.
But like, I guess I would say I'm partially claustrophobic. Like I'm not a fan, but I'm not going to freak out in an elevator or something like that.
Right.
But if I'm like trapped in an MRI, I'm going to freak out. I think that's okay. If I'm like buried alive, I'm going to freak out a little bit, things like that. No biggies. But also not just having no power whatsoever in this situation, like being abandoned. Like, they just left
abandonment
her there.
issue. Wow.
And in the worst possible way. I mean, she's already feeling so helpless, but it's almost feeling like, is this a life or death situation? It's almost like a casket in a dream, like she's literally like in something that could be lowered into the ground. It's like this.
Yeah. I would like, excuse me, can you just at least throw me the fire extinguisher? Do you mind?
Can you leave that for me? Give me a fighting fucking chance.
Just put it against my toes. I am very
ambidextrous
in my toes.
She pulls the little pin.
Dexterity.
Squeezes it with the other toe.
They say if you work on your toe dexterity like a few minutes a day, you can do so much with your toes.
I got to tell you something funny. So Chad does not like feet. Okay,
He's
weirded out by them. I know you get it.
I get it.
But I always go above the knee. Like if he's sitting next to me, I'll put my feet up there and I'll be like,
sure,
foot massage, please. And he always does it, but it's more like a little touch
with a little grimace on his face.
Like
or
it's kind of just like a very light, not a foot massage that you would want.
Yes.
It's kind of just like.
I get it though, because Mark, like, we'll give each other massages, and I will, but he has to put clean socks on first.
Oh, I am barefoot.
Like he doesn't care.
He
didn't
right
touch
up
mine,
there.
but like no, I'm like, can you just put like clean socks on, and then I'll give you a full massage.
So one night I see him kind of looking over at me. He's like, with a weird look on his face. I'm like, what? He's like, what are you doing with your toes? I'm like, nothing. I'm not doing anything with my toes. He's like, you can move them individually. Like he was just, and I'm like, well, I don't know. I do. Like when I'm falling asleep, I like rub my feet together and I don't know. I kind of start moving my toes. I'm like,
I guess I never really, is it weird? I don't know.
That's what I was like. I was like, yeah. And he's like, I couldn't move a single toe if my life depended on it. I was like, Chad, this is nothing. Like, look, I can move this one. Can move this one. And he's like horrified but interested at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, watch, I'll pick up that pen over there.
Oh my God.
And like
you did that. Did you write something with your toe?
I can't write, but like I just, it's normal for me to be able like, yeah, you can like pick up something if it's just out of reach.
They say
or
if
something.
you do it, you can.
But he was so blown away because he's like, my toes don't move. I have no control over them.
Just another reason that he's in love with you.
I guess it has.
If you're ever stuck in an MRI on fire, you might be able to pull the pin on the fire extinguisher. That's why.
You know what? I could.
I think it was on his list.
That's a good skill to have when you're thinking about who you want to marry.
Yeah. If our hands are tied behind our backs and we get kidnapped, can she use her toes some way? You never know.
This is a checklist. You know how they do like sometimes marriage counseling before you get married? If you're tied up and being burned, would your partner be able
to untie you with her toes? Fair. I think it's a good advantage to have.
Yes, it definitely is a good advantage to have. I just didn't realize it was ever different.
Well, you are special.
I feel like he's really more of the special one because I feel like most people can move their toes. No?
I don't know if I can move mine independently, but...
Oh, okay. Then maybe I am the weird one.
But I think Mark might be able to. I don't know.
I'm like moving them right now. Like,
Bestie, let us know. Can you move your toes independently? Send us an email. Send us a DM. Find us on Facebook.
My future married life depends on this question.
Is Brooke the weird one or is it Chad?
Little column A, little column B, but more of column B. That's the Chad one.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but if you're trying to kind of look at this in at least some positive way, which is very difficult to do, but because I'm still like being burnt alive is right at the top of my list of being trapped in something and being burned. That's right at the top of my list. But, liposuction's pretty common, procedure.
Yeah, sure. If you want to do it,
let's all do it. But the fact that was interesting that we kind of alluded to earlier is that she's not fully under. So it's still like she doesn't trust even these medical professionals.
Yeah. Well, if that was your first experience, no doubt you would not trust it next time.
Not going back. It's like you said, everyone you're supposed to be able to count on keeps either leaving her or hurting her. I mean, that plastic surgeon is like, ripping through her
And there's
flesh.
so much that could be taken as far as just the idea of liposuction or plastic surgery. Like, the stigma of it is, you have low self-esteem, so you have to feel good about yourself. And you could read that dream that way. But I believe, like, if you're a woman and you want to make yourself...
If it's going to make
you happy, girl, go do it.
Do it.
But don't go to this doctor.
Not this one.
Don't go to this doctor.
I'm going to have to ask Kara who this doctor is and be like, nope, don't go to
Dr.
him.
Bad Hands. Don't trust him.
Dr. Pointy thing. That sounds terrible. Okay, so here's where I try to think of the good. Was the tearing off of the flesh a good thing? Was the fire a good thing?
Like a phoenix.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it kind of shows like she's at a doctor trying to heal. Like, clearly she's going different procedures. She's trying different routes. She's trying. That's what I come from this dream. And like you said, fire can be cleansing. You rise from the ashes, a new start. But the surgery with the doctor tearing away, maybe that, in quotes, extra weight was something she needed to get rid of inside. Like maybe something she's holding on to that she's not addressing.
Do you have to dump a relationship?
Maybe.
Maybe you just need to set boundaries with people that are in your life.
Right.
You got to dump it. Like you said, like is it something that's holding you back?
You got to cut some people out of your life sometime. And it's like the hardest thing to do.
And then that's the thing. It is hard to do. And maybe that's why it was so aggressive is because no one wants to sometimes make that call and drop that friendship or drop that relationship or whatever it is. But sometimes you have to. Sometimes it's like going through the pain and you're going to be better for it.
And I think we kind of alluded to that too, like she wasn't put fully under, so she's not feeling the pain. Like she's aware of it. She knows it's happening, but and I know I'm 100% guilty of it. It's easier to just sweep it under the rug.
I've got the biggest rug you've ever seen.
I've got a giant rug.
It's got all the dust bunnies under it. I don't want to deal with it.
Sometimes it's easier just to ignore the pain and but I feel like the biggest struggle she's having is that support system in her life. I mean,
especially
the
people
that are supposed to take care of her are either running away or like physically harming her. And like, I'm wondering if there's some issues in the past with whoever raised her, whether it's parents or family or what have you. There's just a lot of trust issues here. And I think I don't know, but I have a feeling that rightfully so, there's some trust issues but she's got a lot of obstacles, but I don't know.
I mean, she survived. She
Did.
survived. So that's
I agree. I hope she, finds whatever ails her and more importantly, finds that support system that she needs. Cause I think that's what she's really looking for right now to help her through whatever this tough issue is.
Kara, we're your besties. You just reach out to us.
We're
here for you.
We're here for you.
We're here. We'll be your support system. Hearts and glitter and wine coloring nights.
Yes, you're invited.
You bring the wine, we'll bring the coloring books.
Right.
Brooke's got the colored pencils. Yeah.
I
got it. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
We got this.
Sometimes you need that kind of therapy.
Oh my goodness, though, Kara, that was from start to finish. That was a nail biter.
Yes. Thanks, Kara, for sending in the. Now I got off. Thanks, Kara.
We've got the fat tongues tonight.
We got the fat tongues.
We need lipo on our tongues tonight.
Could be the seltzer tongue. I'm not sure.
But probably is.
Kara, thank you for sending your dream to us. We really appreciate you opening up and sharing that. If you want to support the show and you're enjoying this podcast and this episode, all you have to do is head to remelations.com/support. From there, you can like us on our social media. You can follow us, rate us, review us. And if you want to be super, super cool, you want to be invited to our wine coloring night, you can join our sleepover squad. That's where all the cool kids hang out. That is just a way to support us a little extra more. And what you get when you join our sleepover squad is some behind the scenes videos, extra dreams, extra episodes, and a whole lot of access and fun.
Silly, goofy videos too. It's not just audio.
It's gonna be good. So
check it out.
Check us out. All right, I have a story for you.
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay. This is an article that was written in February of 1885.
This is a scary story.
It's a New York Times article.
Okay.
And it says, a man by the name of Jenkins from Flat Creek Township near Asheville, North Carolina, has been sick with a fever for several weeks. He had become speechless, his flesh was cold due to the touch, and could not be aroused. There was no motion of heart or pulse. They prepared for his burial in a wood coffin. It was noted at the time there was no stiffness of his limbs, and he was buried the day after his birth. He was buried the...
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, right? Sad. Infant death. It happened all the time. He was buried the day after his death. When placed in the coffin, it was remarked by several bystanders that he was as limber as a man alive. Nonetheless, they buried him.
You gotta double check sometimes.
Did the rumor mill turn? It was the 1800s, of course. Those women love their gossip.
Well, nothing much changed. This is why we have Bravo in our lives.
Good point. The opinions that Jenkins was buried alive.
I agree.
It was not until the 10th of March, just less than 2 weeks later, that his coffin was going to be exhumed to be moved to the family burial plot.
Okay, if this guy's still alive, I'm going to die myself.
So when his coffin was dug up, it was made of wood, and they decided they had to open it to see if the wood casket would survive the travel. When they opened it, his family gasped in horror. They saw him laying face down. His hair had been all pulled out in great quantities, and fingernail marks on the lid and the sides of the coffin. Brooke, today we're talking about premature burial.
Oh my God, this is one of my weaknesses. Any kind of losing air is like my worst nightmare, like suffocation, drowning. Buried alive is
getting stuck in the MRI with a fire. It's so weird because you already mentioned being buried alive earlier today, and I was like, "Oh, girl, you don't even know what I'm talking about."
You're like, this is gonna fit. Oh my,
perfect.
Oh my God, and that's why they used to in the olden times have a bell.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that.
Oh,
because a lot of times people at that, and especially in the 1800s, this was like such a phenomenon that people were so scared about because there was not a definite way of testing if someone was dead like you can with brainwave activity today.
No, it was like, we think.
They don't feel a pulse. Or like you put like a glass under your nose to see if there's
Like,
any fog.
That should
not-
seem like a simple double check.
Double,
Put a fucking
triple
mirror
check.
under your nose and see what happens.
Well, let me give you another story.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now let's talk about a year earlier.
Oh.
A woman, Anna Hockwalt of Dayton, Ohio, was preparing for her brother's wedding. So she went downstairs after dressing for the day and sat down in the chair in the kitchen just after 6. Shortly after was found dead, sitting in the chair with her head leaning against the wall. The wedding went... Here's the best part of this article. I love old-time news articles because this is what it said. The wedding went on.
We don't know why the sister died, but the show must go on.
You know how much it costs to fly swans in here? Come on. In Ohio, you like the whole ice sculpture will melt if we don't go on.
We must.
So her death was determined to be a result of a sympathetic heart palpitation combined with Anna's naturally nervous disposition.
Oh, a sympathetic heart and a nervous disposition.
Oh, I love how they do these back in the old days, right?
I'm taking my prescription pad out right now, and I'm writing a prescription to everyone in the 1800s for whatever they have a problem with. I'll be like, yeah, I think a whiskey will do for you. Yep.
Ma'am, I've got a faint heart.
Ma'am, do you have a sympathetic heart?
I do. It's sympathetic, and I'm a nervous Nelly.
Okay, I've got something for you. Let me write it down.
Love it. Thank you. Just take a little Valium. You'll be fine.
Here, try my potion.
So poor Anna,
oh my
God rest her soul, she didn't make it to the wedding, but she was buried in Woodland. But her friends feared she had been buried alive because her ears, according to this article, ears lacked the ghastly pallor of death.
What does that mean?
I guess when you die, your ears have a ghastly pallor of death.
What does that mean, though? A parlor of death? That sounds like a room, like your parlor.
You know, like... Is it polar? I don't know.
And the first guy they noted he was not sick.
Yeah, I would say stop right there.
Yeah,
they think they're just asleep.
Let's give them a minute.
Why I brought it up on today's episode, because it kind of ties to sleep when you think they're sleeping and they're not. Okay.
This is terrifying. Oh, it's making me uncomfortable, but that's...
So these friends, they were nice friends. I guess they shared their suspicions with Anna's parents, who finally got her disinterred. Okay. When her coffin was opened, it was a horrific sight once again.
Oh, no.
She was laid on her right side. Her fingers were chewed to the bone, and her hair had been pulled out from her head.
Oh, this is terrible.
Yeah, you know...
Why do you pull out your hair, do you think, when you're
I think you just go freaking mad.
You just lose it. I mean, the clawing thing is terrifying enough, like with their fingernails like broken off and you see claw. That is like such desperation to survive. It's heartbreaking.
Yes.
It's like fighting for your life. But the pulling out of the hair, I'm finding interesting.
I think you just go mad. I think once you decide that you there's no way out, you're just...
Yeah.
You probably end up starving to death.
Oh, I would think there's...
Oxygen would probably be the first problem.
Yeah, you'd probably lose oxygen. Because you're exhaling carbon dioxide.
Yeah, one of those oxides.
Yeah. And so it's filling... You're taking in whatever is in that coffin.
And the more you freak out, the less oxygen you're going to have left to survive.
But that's a terrible way to go.
Do you know that there's actually a name for the phobia of being buried alive?
Well, I've got it, so tell me.
It's called taphophobia.
I've got taphophobia 100%.
I think, according to one article I read, 70% of people have taphophobia.
How could you not?
I don't know what about these other 30%. Like, you're
what's
fine.
What's wrong with these 30%?
They're like, psh, it's fine. If that's the way I go, it's the way I go.
I'm laying down. Sounds comfy.
Just bring me a magazine. This was a big fear in the 19th century.
Right.
This is a big time of not being able to medically really say that someone's dead. And so it was always like lore. Did they get buried alive? Were they alive? Were they dead? Edgar Allan Poe did not help with this. He has actually taphophobia. Taphephobic? He had taphophobia.
Because of the telltale heart?
No, he actually wrote a story called The Premature Burial in 1844.
Oh my God. And then there's the Cask of Amontillado. buried alive in a brick wall. Oh, Poe.
It all comes back to Poe.
It's all Poe's fault.
It's all Poe's fault. We wouldn't have Taphophobia if it wasn't for Poe.
He made it. He ruined us all.
But so many people, I mean, this started a whole phenomenon. Obviously, he's like, I know how to freak people the fuck out with my stories. Let's bury some alive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, good.
Mm-hmm. It worked.
You did a good
People are still scared.
job. And we're still talking about it to this day. So good job, Mr. Poe.
So let's talk about the safety coffins. So these inventions that have been made since the 1850s that have a way of notifying someone if you're still awake in that little coffin.
Safety coffins.
Safety coffin. Yes, I think I'd pay extra for that, especially back then.
I would put that in my will. Be like, I want the safety coffin premier. I want the safety platinum. I want the safety coffin diamond.
I want the release valve from the MRI machine. I want it all. I want safety, safety, safety. So, for example, there was one that was patented, and oh my God, these patents, my God, they are the coolest, most morbid, decrepit thing to look at.
I think it'd be fun to look around the patent office and see all the weird stuff.
God,
people
they're
have come
online
up with over the years.
Okay. I'm going to have to share some with you, and I'll post some on our Facebook group because it's amazing to see what people had come up with because it was such a big thing.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, there's a need, there's a market, that's an invention, right?
Right.
Okay, so let me explain some of these patents to you. And there are many, and like I said, they're amazing. I'm going to post a few of these pictures on them because they're in the U.S. Patent Office. They were that sought after. I don't know how many people bought them.
I feel better just knowing that
they exist.
Some effort out there, though.
Only the rich people probably got those safety coffins, right?
That's
the paupers
sad, but true. But I mean, like we said, I kind of know about the bell thing. Give a poor guy a bell. I mean, is it really that? Does it have to be a class system? Give everyone a bell.
Give everyone a bell. It's like the safety trunk option that all cars come standard with now. Now there's an escape pulley thing in your trunk of your car.
Right?
By the way, bestie, if you're ever in a trunk of a car,
yes,
there's usually a safety option in there somewhere. Find it, pull it.
And if you can't, start kicking out the brake lights because that'll get noticed by law enforcement.
Exactly. Okay. So let's talk about these patents. So they went anywhere from this one in particular. This first one I'm looking at. There's a long tube. It went up how many feet you're buried, say 6 feet underground, right? There's a box, and on the box is a flag that would get triggered, and it would stand up like a, how would I explain it? Like a flag that would just spring up.
Okay.
Okay.
But it was a jack-in-the-box.
Like a jack-in-the-box flag for the dead person. So there's like a little thing in the side, the coffin that you would touch that would spring load the little flag to be like, oh, hey, can you please check me out over here? Still alive.
Still down here.
Still here.
My concern is who's monitoring these flags?
That is an interesting thing. And I have heard some of the rich people would have people sit and monitor flags for the first 2 weeks after they were buried to make sure they never went off.
I feel like 24 hours, 48 hours is probably enough.
Probably enough. Yeah. But you don't want to miss your calling.
You don't. 2 weeks.
What do you do for a living? I'm a coffin flag watcher.
Yeah, it pays pretty good. It's third shift.
Pretty easy work. Some other things that were found in some of these patents I came across were quite extravagant. Of course, we had the bells that were tied to fingers. Unfortunately, when that happened, a lot of bloating happens when you die. So they would automatically start going off and ringing.
Ding,
And
ding, ding.
These poor family members were like, Uncle John's still alive. And then they'd bury him up and they're like, no, he just is bloated.
That's
Not
so
good.
sad. I never heard that side of it. That makes sense though.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And your body does weird things when it starts to go through decomposition.
Does.
Gases that get released, your body, how it goes through rigor mortis and things like that. You can actually flip from one side to the other in a coffin just naturally because of how things decay.
Wow.
So not only do we have the bells, there was also things like feathers. Like a feather would go up above ground and it would wave if you were awake.
What if it was
that sounds like a girly one. I like that one.
It was just a windy
feathers?
day.
Right?
Are they like, we got to
Aunt Mary's alive.
Mary's is going too. Her feather's going. Rick's flag is going. We better get over to both.
We got a bell. It seems like too much work.
Yeah.
There was also ones that had breathing tubes, so you can actually have pipe that would take out your carbon dioxide and bring in the fresh oxygen from
That's
outside.
probably the smartest and easiest one. But then do you also have
you still have to
yell?
notify them.
Yes, I'm like, where's the notification system?
Right.
Keeps you alive, but
Sure, but doesn't help you
is
get
that
out
the
of
life you
all that
wanna
dirt.
live?
You have ones that involved fans on the inside to keep people calm and cool.
Oh.
Even as these patents have progressed to the 1980s and 90s, they still exist. And some of them have things like two-way radios installed in them, video monitors, and like flashlights that you can actually turn on and use. And like it's just insane. Like it is still a market.
Like nowadays, people get cement over them. Am I wrong? Like that's usually like you go into a cement
one.
The coffin goes into like a cement casing. Like, okay, maybe in a movie you can see someone digging out through the dirt, but you get out of the coffin and you still hit concrete, 6 feet of concrete.
Terrifying. So,
That's
but you think, you're like, is it still a problem, right? Because we've advanced so far in medical science that we kind of have a good idea these days.
We would think. I mean,
you would think.
You would think.
But let me tell you another story.
I know there's a but. I mean, people try, like, we're also true crime fans, you know, like, it has not been something that is unheard of where somebody maybe takes a medicine, you know, that slows their heart rate so low that it seems like you're dead to escape from somewhere or to trick someone.
There is a medical thing called the Lazarus syndrome,
Right.
which makes your blood pretty much stop pumping through your veins for an amount of time. And it's very rare, but it does happen. In a very, very, very tiny percentage of people, but it can stop your blood from flowing where it seems like you are dead, and then you can start just back up again.
That's terrifying.
Okay, so let's talk about the story that came out in Greece.
Okay.
This one, well, get your opinion on what you think of if this is a real issue.
Oh, is this real or is this made up?
Yeah.
This is like a
This
quiz
is
show?
2014.
Okay.
In Greece. Imagine
I think I was there in 2014.
Man, you just had your coloring book and a box of wine. You're just walking through the cemetery.
I mean,
and
this is just me going along.
You're just having a good time. You know, that's where you like to spend your lunches.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you hear screaming from below the earth. So these children who heard this screaming along with you went to find some adults and some police. Where the authorities went to, where they heard the screaming from, was the grave site of a 49-year-old cancer patient whose name has only been released as KZ. Okay. So KZ had been only buried a couple hours before this.
A couple hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so their family had the funeral service, had the burial, and then had left. And so being called for this help, the authorities decided to dig up in this tomb and see if she was in there. They sadly had found KZ dead again. The doctor who was at the scene examined the woman and said it seemed like she was been dead for hours and could not be revived. It is noted that she did attend this private hospital, and I was curious about the embalming process, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because you'd think these days isn't everyone embalmed?
Right, especially nowadays because, I mean, that's a lot of, they cut you open, they rip your chest apart. There's a lot. Maybe not the same.
Well, I guess in Greece, there is a shortage of land for burial, and so sometimes they don't. And this woman was buried only 12 hours after her so-called passing. So her family ordered an additional investigation. And now a year later, this is like now 2015, they were still fighting whether that she had been placed underneath the ground still alive.
Oh my God.
According to a couple coroners, there was some discrepancy whether she was or not. One coroner said KZ death occurred while her burial. She was probably alive during it and as a result had a heart attack. Other coroners had noted that in his report that the woman was considered dead due to the effect of the medication she had received while at the clinic, and some cardiopulmonary function was compromised. But here's the thing. It's like, I try to find more on the story because I'm like, there seemed like there was a lawsuit, and it's just like the story disappeared. Like I couldn't find anything else on the internet. I don't know what happened. They never.
Oh, suspicious. Because that's not so long ago, bestie. That's not so long ago.
That's not so long ago. And I've got one more that was also from 2014.
Ooh,
and
shit.
This was a man of the name Walter Williams in Mississippi.
Okay.
He was pronounced dead on February 26, 2014.
So we're in the States now, though.
We're now in the States.
Okay, where there are strict regulations.
Yes.
Okay.
As CNN reported, the correct paperwork was completed about his death, and his body was put into a body bag and was taken to the funeral home. When his body was taken to the embalming room, his legs began to move, and the coroner noticed he was lightly breathing. Williams was alive, and as it turned out, he was.
I mean, I have so many questions.
He had a short-lived reprieve, and just over 2 weeks later, he passed away.
Oh, no.
So imagine going through that.
Could you imagine? Okay, a body bag is like airtight, I feel like. And then you're probably in the morgue on like, one of those
The
slabs,
steel, drawers.
And those I feel like are pretty airtight. And he still survived.
He survived, but unfortunately did not survive much longer. But wow, so it does happen. It is crazy, isn't it? Like that.
Mindy, that blew my mind that stuff still happens. Wow.
Yeah. And if you still want to buy a safety coffin, you can.
I'm going to buy one.
You can.
I mean, I'm going to hire someone on Etsy to make me the cutest.
You'd be like glitter. Okay, if I'm going to be down there, I want glitter, I want it pink, and I want Bravo on a little TV to keep me occupied until someone notices my little feathers went up in the air and
otherwise
they're flying around.
This is a no-go. If I can't have my Bravo and my feather, I'm sorry. Just don't bother.
There's not enough time. There's not enough time.
Make sure the remote's in my hand, though, so I don't have to find it.
Right in the dark. Well, yeah. First thing is the light switch.
Right.
Find your remote. Turn on your Bravo. Calm yourself a little bit.
Find my seltzer.
Find your seltzer. Oh, you're being buried with seltzers?
Well, if we're going to do it right, we're going to do it right.
But anyways, that is the short history of premature
Oh my
burial.
God. We'll have to tap into that again later sometime because I'm sure the well is endless and that's terrifying.
Yes.
Ooh.
Okay, I've got a little bit of pod news for you, Brooke.
Yay.
In the last couple of weeks, we've gained like 85 more subscribers to the podcast, which
you guys,
for a little podcast, that's a big number.
My heart didn't go 3 sizes. It went 17 sizes. So big.
Just broke out of that little case it was in.
It's so
amazing.
Happy right now. Oh my God. Thank you.
So thank you. And welcome to all of our new besties. If you're enjoying this show, there's one thing you can do for us. And that's to tell your best friend about the show. Mm-hmm. That's how we're getting this momentum. That's how we're growing. And that's how we keep sharing dreams each and every week. So don't forget to tell your bestie. Tell your favorite carnival game worker. Tell your MRI technician. But also tell them just do not leave the room, whatever happens.
Do not leave
the room. Or tell your favorite graveyard attendant about the show. Again, friends, that's how we grow. That's how we keep doing this each and every week for you. We love it. We're having so much fun. Keep it going for us, please.
Please and thank you.
Graveyard attendant. It's like your graveyard butler. Yes, sir.
Oh my God, I want a t-shirt that says graveyard butler.
That's the one who's delivering your seltzers.
He's delivering the seltzers. He's checking the feathers. He's
still not up.
He's checking the bell.
Just calming you down. Hey, Brooke. Oh, yep. Okay, I see you're down there. We're gonna get you.
Okay.
Can I get you anything while you wait?
Yes. Can you please give me the new season of Salt Lake City?
Yeah, beaming that down right now. Do you need another seltzer?
You.
Mango,
yes.
Okay. Okay, sending it down. Sending it down the tube.
Sending it down the tube. There's like pneumatic air tubes.
It's like at the bank. Choo choo choo. Make it easier.
Oh my God.
Okay, so before we go on, I gotta show you something. So, you know, I love Halloween and I love Christmas, but what I love about those two seasons.
Yay, your socks! How did we trade places? How did I used to be like the sock person and now you're the sock person?
So I've got my Halloween socks on.
Yes, I love
Between
them.
October and January, that's all I wear is like crazy socks.
Yes,
I got
they're
my
the best.
Halloween socks. I think I need to get some more Thanksgiving
They're always
socks.
festive. They're always
Yeah.
festive.
These ones got Ghosts and candy corn.
I love them.
Do you love candy corn? Where are you on that? That's very dividing topic, I know.
I was just going to say, I think that must be. But here's the thing. Hated it my whole life. Like 2 years ago, started liking it. So there's still,
There's still
never stop trying, people. Never stop growing. Never stop being scared to try something new, because someday you'll like candy corn too.
I never liked mushrooms. Now I do.
Never liked onions.
Now you do. Never liked oysters. They call them oysters?
I've never had.
Oysters? Oysters. I put an extra T in there. Never liked oysters.
Oysters. You're saying it right. Oysters.
Okay. Why does it seem wrong?
I don't know. You're saying it right.
Oysters. Okay. Never liked oysters, but now I do. You just got to keep trying things.
You just do. Like, I used to know this guy who, like, only ate pepperoni pizza. And not just, like, for his pizza, but, like, that was, like, his go-to. Like, probably never had a slice of fucking cheese on a burger either. Just, you know.
Very particular. And
I'm like, don't you even want to try? Like, I tried. I didn't like sushi for years. I didn't like salmon for years. Guess what? All of a sudden, maybe you try something, things change. But, like, to be afraid to try something other than pepperoni pizza?
No.
That's not okay to me.
Door.
It's like, it's not going to hurt you. Come on.
And try the candy corn.
I was going to ask you if you were candy corn.
I do. I am a candy corn.
It's a lifelong candy corner?
Mm-hmm. I've always liked it. Yeah.
I'm
a lifelong candy corner. Yes. Yes, I'm a lifelong candy corner. You got
lifelong candy. That's another shirt.
Right here. Lifelong candy corner.
I'll be a newbie candy corner. No, it was always like, I don't know, for whatever reason, it was like not my thing, but somebody had some on their desk one day, and I think maybe I was just in need of some kind of candy,
some sugar rush. Yeah.
I was like, this is amazing.
It's not bad.
Not bad. I'll take it.
Hey, Bestie, do you know that we have a Facebook group for all those cool besties out there who like to share their dreams? You can do it right in our Facebook group.
The coolest.
See what the other besties out there think about your dream.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find us by pulling up your Facebook app and just looking for Revelation Podcast Besties, and you will find a group of people that are like-minded like you and who like hearing dreams and sharing them and having a few laughs.
Absolutely. And there's always some little extra stuff on there too.
Yeah. Enjoy. Oh, of course. Oh, damn it. I just asked if we could FaceTime.
Oh, no. Okay. I hope everything's okay.
I know.
Well, you know, it's a dramatic time of life.
Yeah. I said, what's up? Do you need me right this minute? I'm recording with Brooke, but I can stop. You know, it's like one of those things like, why are you just randomly asking?
Like, is this an emergency? Or you're like, hey, just call me right now. You know, like.
Okay. She said, no, it's okay.
Like on, what day of the week was it last week? I was at work and my dad kept calling. And I couldn't answer because it was just so busy. And I was like, oh God. And he's not leaving voicemails or texting. And I'm like,
when your family starts calling you and you're like,
right?
Why?
You're like, and then it turned out, so he was doing his do-ride where he picks up people and takes them to like their doctor's appointments.
Oh,
and
I didn't know he did that.
To get groceries. Yeah, he's done that since he retired.
That is the sweetest thing. Oh my God, I didn't know that.
So he's like,
good job, Papa Aldhouse.
I know, good job, Papa. It was, in addition, he was just trying to stop by to give me some cookies.
That's... Oh my God, can you get any more adorable than your dad?
I know, but he was calling me. I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong? Cookies. I got cookies for you.
So sweet. Did you get your cookies then or no?
I did.
Oh, good.
I did.
Did he drop them? He just left them there for you?
Well, no, it was so ironic. Ironic? Yes, it was, because he decided he was coming back last round on his way home from his last do-ride. And I was coming back from my lunch break.
Oh, okay.
And I see him pull into the credit union parking lot. And I'm like, what is he doing? Because I still don't know why he was calling. So I pull up next to him and I'm like, what's up? And he's like, I got cookies for you. He's like just saying it. I'm like, what? So I get out. He's like, brought you some cookies. And I'm like,
the best.
Thank you so much. But you scared the crap out of me.
Of course. Yeah. But unexpected visits from parents.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Who died?
Like serial calling. Yeah. I'm like, oh God, please. No.
Right.
But it was really cute.
Of course. Your dad's the sweetest. The dropping off cookies, like the cutest thing.
So cute.
So I had posted a picture on my family Snapchat Actually, it was a B reel, the app I like now. So the front picture was Mark putting in new light fixtures outside our house. The back picture was just a picture of me. So my dad comments like, "Way to go, handyman Mark." And I was like, "Excuse me, Dad. This was a team effort. You did not raise a daughter that doesn't know how to do shit."
Exactly.
So here's the story. So we get this notice from our HOA.
Oh boy, here we go.
And there's HOAs for a reason. Okay, first of all, like, get it. Okay, HOAs are to help, keep the neighborhood looking nice, and we all have the same goal. Blah blah. Rules fine. Whatever. We signed up for it when we bought the house. So we got a notice after we've never gotten a notice in 15 years that Mark's lived here that our front porch lights were a little decrepit. I think is the word they used.
Decrepit. They're coming to check on the status of your porch lights.
Like. These were the ones that the builder put in. They're just like plastic shit. They're like little like lanterns and like the whole top
they maybe
plastic
are
part
decrepit,
broke
but
off.
they serve their purpose.
Well, there's the thing. So they have not worked well in like the last year. So we got this notice and we're like, okay, fine. As every other person in the neighborhood is throwing a huge bitch fest about their little notices, I'm like, well, I get it. I mean, we should change them because they are ugly and they don't work. So
they're not the greatest. So maybe this is a good thing.
So yeah, we went to Menards and we got 3 new outdoor lights. And that was our weekend. We got to install some new.
No more notices for you.
Nope. Try finding me, bitches. Not gonna happen.
Try to find
not this
something wrong
house.
with my house.
Not at 623. You're not. No. So
not 623.
So anyways, that was our weekend project. We got it done. Looks great.
Yay. Thank you, Kara and Leona. Ugh, such an amazing episode, really.
All right, Bestie, today has been so much fun, and thank you for
really
everything,
has.
Brooke. I love spending time with you. This is my therapy. I love it.
It is mine too.
Until next week, Bestie. Sweet dreams,
bitches.
We did it. Good job, Bestie.
Good job.